Hiya, it's Owlet here, and as a special Christmas present to all of you subscribers who have put up with my lack of reviews this year, I have watched the Doctor Who Christmas special and I'm here with a review, so way! And I've got a hat. Right, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Okay, no, this is not a Mulan moment, though that's an amazing movie. I watched The Husbands of River Song, and I was not expecting much because I really don't like River Song, and I also haven't watched any of Doctor Who this season, so like it was going in blind basically. And I've had a few friends tell me like, oh no, the Christmas special was not good, you're gonna hate it. But I was like, no, just leave all those predispositions at the door. Predispositions? I don't know. Anyway, I really liked it. I loved it, I would say. It was the best Christmas special I have seen in a while, and like I loved it, River Song and all. It was weird. I definitely wasn't expecting it, and I was sitting here being like, I'm genuinely laughing. This is fantastic. So get ready for a positive Christmas review. It's a Christmas miracle, everyone. I got my notes and I'm gonna look at them because I'm not good at remembering things. Okay, so we had River Song not knowing who the Doctor was, which was kind of cool because that means that there was role reversal happening where the Doctor got to be the companion, and that was nice for a change because, you know, his ego needs to be taken down a peg, I think. And I mean, I don't know, maybe it has been taken down this past season. Just know that when you're watching this review, I don't know anything that happened for the past season. So I'm just making all my statements based on the season before last and also what I saw. So if you're like, blah, 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 but you didn't see this episode, save your comment, please, because I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna know what you're talking about. Like, it's good to know that he's had his ego taken down, but I'm basing it on what I just saw. So yes, the Doctor was very funny as well. He's like, I've got cross arms, and he just kept crossing and uncrossing his arms. That was great. And River Song was actually funny in a way that she didn't have to constantly rely on heavy sexual innuendo and flirting. Like, she made genuine puns and jokes, and it was great. And I liked how it was intelligent humor as well, because there's no denying she's always been really intelligent, and she's a woman of, you know, many skills. And my biggest issue with her was always that she was crossing boundaries that seemed to make the Doctor uncomfortable, and that she didn't care that she made the Doctor uncomfortable or anyone else uncomfortable. And I mean, it's one thing to be like, I am who I am, I'm gonna keep on being me, but it was very grating sometimes to just see her complete disregard for everybody. That's not to say that the Doctor doesn't have disregard for people sometimes, but I just feel like hers, whenever, like, because she only features sometimes, whenever it was her, it came on quite strong, which is a shame because Alex Kingston is amazing, and so I really do like seeing her in other things. It just wasn't my favorite fit with River. But that is all changed now. I loved the line of an archaeologist is just a thief but with patience. That was brilliant. The sonic troll was hilarious, and the way she kept using it like some weird kind of cake server, fabulous, loved it. The fact that she's like, River Song has stolen the TARDIS before, like she's pulled a fast one over the Doctor, and just like, she was so amusingly patronizing to him, like being like, what he's like, wow, you're fast, and he's like, for a Doctor, and she's like, yes, and just pats him gently on the chest like, good boy, here's a treat, you worked things out. The Doctor being jealous was actually sort of fun because he didn't do it in a whiny, possessive way like he did with Clara and Danny, when he kept being like, oh, you like Danny, a stupid mathematician, blah blah. And that got old, whereas this time he was just like, why do you like him? Why don't you like me? But he didn't do it in a really childish way, so that was also nice. He's been scaled back a bit too. Everyone was kind of on a much more normal level, which was just way more pleasant to watch. The best bit for the Doctor, I think, was when he got to go into the TARDIS and say the whole, it's bigger on the inside speech, but he took it to like a Shakespearean monologue level moment of walking around and saying such grand things and throwing his arms wide and just really hamming it up, and to no one's benefit really other than his own. And that was very funny and very satisfying because, you know, he has wanted to see it done right, and it was his chance to kind of poke fun at everybody who'd said it beforehand. There was some very funny subtle humor, like the doctor when he was holding their head, and he said, he must be very cross, he's lost his head. And they were said like so quietly that you almost didn't catch them the first time. In fact, I did rewind at one point just to make sure that that's what he'd said, and I was like, that's brilliant, well done. So Moffat, you're back on form, and that's nice. I hope it lasts. Also, even the line like, does sarcasm help? And then he was like, wouldn't it be a great universe if it does? Like, they were a dynamic duo. They worked really well together, River and the Doctor, and it was refreshing to see that, as opposed to them always trying to kind of, I suppose, outdo one another. And I mean, there was still that element, but it just wasn't as unhealthy, I think is the word I would go with. And Doctor being like, don't hold my hand, people don't do that, and don't hush me, I'm not a hushing person. Oh, I could relate to that so much. I was like, yes, 100%. I hate when people go, shh, it's so unnecessary. If you want me to be quiet, say be quiet. If you want someone to stop talking, say stop talking. Or can you please not shh or hush. It's unnecessary, and shhing noises, ugh. Fun fact of the day. I loved all the different aliens on that spaceship. We got alien faces and alien races, and I was like, yay, aliens! Because I got tired of Daleks and Cybermen, and we had aliens, and I was very happy with that. Even if they were creepy, horrible, homicidal, genocidal aliens. Maybe scale it back on the genocidal aliens, okay? But River did say when they first got on the ship, that the suites were reserved for planet burning, and like they were like billionaires who had killed whole alien races. And in the back of my mind, I couldn't help but think that like the Doctor was weirdly at home there. I mean, definitely not amongst his people, but there's no denying that he has helped destroy planets and also wiped out alien races, especially, you know, back in the day. I mean, 11 seemed to do that a fair bit, which was weird. So he was kind of amongst his peers, which was awful and interesting at the same time, I guess. The reason I think that this episode that I liked River so much more is that by her not knowing that he was the Doctor, it meant that she could talk to him without being overly flirty, but also it gave her more complexity. So when she's on the ship talking to him, she's kind of opening up more, because she often remains quite guarded with the Doctor, because it's one-upmanship of who's the fastest, who's the smartest, who knows more, who knows spoilers, you know, all that sort of head games. And with this, she was actually quite sad, and, you know, it doesn't erase the fact that she uses people and that she blackmailed the Doctor into marrying her and that she was some secret trained spy. Like, I'm never going to forgive and forget all of that stuff. But at the same time, the Doctor does use people for his own agenda too. So this episode kind of made me realize that they're weirdly balanced quite well for each other. Especially, you know, at the end when they're standing there talking about, like, the two towers and how they always fit together and create a song kind of moment. And I mean, it was a bit corny, but it was accurate, and it was quite nice in a way. She had some badass one-liners as well, like, I am an archaeologist from the future. I dug you up. I was like, damn girl, you and that sonic trowel are going places. And we also got the word bastard mouthed through a Christmas special. Like, that's probably as close as we're gonna get to the Peter Capaldi shouting and swearing. I mean, he wasn't the one that mouthed it, but, you know, it was a bit more rebellious than previous sweary moments, so that was quite funny. The Singing Towers of Beryllium went that you were all like, oh my goodness, it's getting towards the, you know, Silence in the Library River that we first met, and then he gave her the sonic and kind of confirmed that. And so we finally got closure, I guess, on like how she got from there to the library. What we did not get closure on is where she learns his name, or when he tells her his name. So, unless I missed that. I might have missed that. But I really don't think I did. If I did miss that, please let me know in the comments. It also means that maybe that's why she doesn't remember 12's face when she goes back. Except I kind of was thinking that was going to be more of the case when she, like, was falling asleep on the TARDIS. I thought, oh, she's dead, so she never got a chance to, like, journal what 12's face looked like. But I guess that didn't happen. So now I don't understand why she doesn't know what 12's face looks like. But, you know, as the Doctor said, maybe I just need a bigger flowchart. I don't know how their wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey life works. It's all a bit of a mystery. Oh no, my battery's dying. I better sum this up quickly. I think it's the first time that River seemed human and even more of the female equivalent of Captain Jack Harkness, especially when she was giving that beautiful monologue on the ship about how the Doctor would never love her, but she loved the Doctor because you don't expect a sunset to love you. And so it kind of really pointed out that, you know, they're both so loving and yet at the same time incredibly selfish, both the Doctor and River. Like, they do have the capacity to love, but they also love at a cost for themselves and of the person that they are loving. And that's kind of a big deal. It's like self-sacrificing for both parties. And, I mean, Captain Jack has, you know, the 21st century boy of the galaxy, and, you know, he's had multiple partners, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that type of lifestyle. I mean, if that works for you, do that. But it just means that, like, Captain Jack was often kind of more subtle, and I guess, well, he wasn't more subtle. He did it in a way that kind of, like, made you laugh at him, or the advances were about him and his ego, whereas River's were advances towards other people. So that was a bit intense sometimes, but now she seems much more like Captain Jack, and therefore in my mind much more likable, because it was nice to have a female equivalent of Captain Jack, because why not have that kind of female prowess without being a man-eater? So I feel like, yeah, it's taken a long slog, but we finally got a fully developed River song, and it just was perfect. It was the Christmas present that really delivered. So yes, I loved that Christmas special. I loved how the Doctor was kind of not the main character, but also he really did help lift everything. And it was really great to like a Christmas special. So I hope you all liked the review. I know I haven't reviewed Supergirl, I'm sorry. I got crazy busy at work with the end of year silly season. I'm gonna try and watch the next few episodes of Supergirl over the next couple of days. I don't know if that'll happen, but you'll know about it because I'll post them. Anyway, that's all from me for now. I hope you all have happy holidays, and probably see you after the Sherlock Victorian Christmas special thing in the new year. Alright, toodles!